decided not to do any more podcasts, but to do it by
We're doing videos, and it's all new. And this is episode 1 of Two Girls and a Cat. Not podcast, just Two Girls and a Cat. And we're doing videos, and we are starting with Game of Thrones.
Seeing as it's coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and it's season 7.
Yeah.
So we're getting you ready now to recap on season 6, so you can recall all of that and
so basically
remember where we are up to.
Yeah.
To start with episode 1 of season 7.
This is everything you need to know about Game of Thrones season 6 to get you all ready for season 7. Carolyn, when's it start?
The 17th of July in the UK.
We get our Mondays back.
Yes. And the 16th of July in the USA. So you guys get it.
So it's like The Walking Dead. No phones on a Monday.
No.
Until we sit down.
No spoilers.
No, because this season is going to be, well, it's the end. It's the end of season, not season, but end of Game of Thrones. We're all finished and done and dusted.
Yeah. And we've been waiting like a year for this.
We've been waiting since
season... It doesn't seem that long. I don't know, it just doesn't seem that long.
We've been waiting since season 1 for answers. And we're finally getting them.
Yeah.
So
we're getting there.
We are. So we're going to get into it. We'll admit that there's going to be little bits and pieces that we miss out. We're not going to get it all in, but we're going to try our best. So we start with Arya.
Yeah.
We'll start with the little stories and we'll build it up. We'll build it to where it's the exciting part.
I kind of love Arya because when I read the books before I'd really watched Game of Thrones, the series, her character is so well developed in the books. She's like, especially in the first couple, she's kind of like one of the very, very main characters. And I suppose
she was one of the ones I was really interested in seeing where it went. And I was a bit disappointed in the last series. I didn't particularly, I wasn't bothered, I didn't care. This one, I'm caring, and more towards the end of Arya's story that I'm caring about. So Arya's continuing her training in Bravos. She is blind. She was blind because she killed Meryn Trant.
Yeah.
Someone she wasn't meant to kill. It's not part of the, what do you call them? The faces?
Men with no faces.
Men with no faces. So they're not, it wasn't part of their plan. They obviously have a plan and it's just strategic, and it wasn't part of theirs. So she killed him, she became blind, and what's his name? Jackanagar. I'm going to apologise in advance if my pronunciation of names isn't up to par. It's really bad. So yeah, she gets blind, and we meet the waif, who is a bit of a bitch.
She's a dick.
Yeah, I said no swearing in this, but there's no way to get around that.
Yeah.
She's a bitch, and she makes Arya's life a complete and utter misery.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just her training. She gets hit with a stick a lot of times.
And will be hit a load more.
But she's given it, after she's proven herself and she's getting her eyesight back, she's given a mission to go and kill an actress. And the interesting part of the actress is they're doing a stage show of what's happening in King's Landing.
They've done a stage show of Game of Thrones.
Basically.
Is what they've done.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. With like Punch and Judy style.
It's really funny, but for Arya's point of view, it's not that funny. This was her life. That they even go to start with our dad's death.
To parody the fact that your dad has had his head chopped off. It's pretty brutal.
That's bad. It's really bad. So Arya is actually seeing as well what's going on in King's Landing. She doesn't know that Joffrey's dead. She didn't know her sister was married to Tyrion. You know, she's finding out a lot of things.
You're thinking, damn it, Sansa, you've gone down.
Yeah.
In my estimation.
What happened to you wanting to marry Joffrey?
Marry Prince and get married to him.
How did you end up with him?
Even though he is really cool and quite funny. So,
he is.
Okay.
I'd be married to him. I'll be fine with that.
Oh.
Just for the humour.
For the crack.
Yeah, pretty much. But she's finding out a lot of King's Landing and what's actually going on, and she actually gets quite attached to this actress.
Yeah, it's like, this is your last chance to prove yourself, and she just can't bring herself to do it. And then obviously in the end, she helps Arya after
she does.
Fight.
Because she does put she's given poison, and she puts the poison in the drink, and as soon as the actress goes to go and drink it, Arya knocks it out of her hand and says, that girl's trying to steal your parts, and the waif sees all this and goes back to Jack and Hagar, and she's told off and probably hit with another stick. And then the waif, I think Arya is starting to realise that this isn't her life. This isn't what she wanted. She had a mission. She's had a goal. Yeah,
she's had enough.
I'd have enough being hit with a stick.
Yeah.
So she's kind of had enough. She had a list and she had a mission, and that's what drove Arya. And I think that's what kept us with Arya, is that you knew this little girl probably one day would get to carry out her list.
Yeah.
So to see her starting to come back as Arya Stark and wanting to be Arya Stark was nice to see. I like that. But the waif and her have an amazing fight.
Yeah.
Where it ends, where you don't actually see Arya kill her.
She uses the skills that she's been taught, ironically, and ends her, basically.
Yes.
So
face on a wall, done and dusted.
And she's like, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here, bitches. See you later.
Enough of being hit with sticks. See you later.
Sick of the stick hating.
And off she goes.
And she does, and she goes, and do you want to? Yeah, she goes.
Well, she kills Walder Frey.
She does
in the end.
She
so
goes,
he killed her brother, killed her mum.
She starts the list, basically.
The list that's been put on the back burner for such a long time because she had to realise that she's a no one.
Yeah, and now
she's now okay to carry out that list. Apparently,
she is.
She's learnt the skills. She knows what to do. She's more equipped.
She is.
So
she masks herself as a no one within Walder Frey's castle. She's a servant girl. We don't know. I kind of knew when she was talking to Jamie. Kind of got an inkling that that didn't seem right.
Yeah.
But she then goes and kills the two Walder Frey's sons, who had something to do with the Red Wedding. I think they killed Catelyn Stark. I think. Yeah, she kills them, puts them in a pie, and feeds that to Walder Frey. That would have been enough. I probably would have just died of the fact that I was eating my son. Not the fact that I had me throat slit or anything like that.
Brutal,
so that's Arya's story.
Yeah.
Arya's very little. And then the next one, which was even littler, but it is worth the mention, the Hound's back.
Yeah.
Back from the dead.
We all like the Hound, really. Even though he was a bastard.
But he was
yeah.
Well, apparently bastard in America isn't exactly a swear word. It's used all the time.
Okay,
and one of the episodes was called Battle of the Bastards.
I don't apologise.
No, trying to take it back.
Take that back.
So the Hound is back from the dead. He was saved by now. I'm not sure. Well, it's Ian McShane.
It's
Lovejoy. And
if you're British, if you're American, you know who that is.
American Gods. Check it out.
He's
really good in that. But his character's name is Brother Ray. Now, to me, when I was reading, because I didn't know what his name was he part of the Brotherhood Without Banners, or some kind of I don't know. It was some form of religious, but not religious, but they were more spiritual.
They were peaceful. They were peaceful. They were a peaceful little community all by themselves.
Yeah,
and he was. Well, he was trying to give him some good advice and help, wasn't he?
Spiritually healing him, because physically he was getting there, but he was a pretty broken man when he found him. So Brother Ray saves the Hound, and the Hound starts to get comfortable there, and he's comfortable with him, and then all of a sudden the Brotherhood Without Banners come in and crap all over that because they kill them all.
That guy just can't get a break.
Cannot get a break.
He cannot get a break.
However, he goes on a murderous rampage to find these men, brutal rampage, to where he finds the three of them who are held by the actual Brotherhood Without Banners, and the guy whose name I absolutely love saying, and I'm not even going to say it right now. Oh, Beric Dondarrion. But I'm sorry if I've said it wrong, but I love that guy. He was the guy in season 2 who the Hound killed, and the Lord of Light brought him back by Paul Kay, who was one of my favourite English comedic actors. Love him to bits. I love the fact that he was in Game of Thrones. And he meets them, and he kind of joins them, and which is great because the Hound. I think the Hound has some. I just wanted to be the Hound show. Game of Hounds.
Game of Hounds.
Game of Hounds. I love that. So that's all you really see of the Hound. It's nothing. Nothing major. He's there. We know he's alive now. What part is he going to play in season 7? I don't know. I just don't know.
He's there to help someone, isn't he?
Who's it going to be?
Which side is he going to pick?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, from there, now we start to really get into the main storylines of season 6, because those were kind of like the things that I think are probably going to show you more in season 7.
Yeah, these are the big players. This is the big guns. The first part I wanted to mention because it's not really that, I wouldn't have thought in the story, it's not really that significant, but Jaime getting the River Run back, which is being taken over by the Blackfish, because that's his family home, and it's another part of what the Lannisters will have, because I think that's quite close in the north.
Yeah.
So it would be the Lannisters now have something, in like there, and the Blackfish was just amazing. I love his armor. I love the character of him. He's we see Edmund Tully for the first time since the Red Wedding. He is used to basically take the castle, because with Edmund's father, who was also Catelyn Stark's father, dead, he is the main dude. So if he walks through them gates, the men in there are really going to go and take his side, and they did. Blackfish dies. So that leads on to Jaime. Jaime. Well, they're going to King's Landing. Let's go to King's Landing, where Cersei, the mad bitch, is basically once again trying to plot.
She's. You think she's down, but she's not.
She's not.
Far from.
Cersei. Trial. So Cersei did her walk of shame in the last season. The main point is that Marjorie is going to do hers soon. Cersei knows that she has another point of her trial, which she will do trial by combat. The mad guy, Maester guy, has created the mountain to be a zombie mountain. That's going to be interesting if the Hound and the Mountain meet.
Yeah.
Oof.
Well, I
Oof,
think
indeed.
you might see that. Maybe
I think that'll be interesting. So we've got Zombie Mountain. And it was hard as funk.
Hell.
Let's think, because there's so much happening in King's
Well, Jaime brings Marcella's body back.
Oh, that's a starting point.
The starting point.
Who cares?
I mean, whatever.
Who cares?
You know, it's just something else to.
Yeah, Marjorie.
There.
So they've only got one kid left: Jaime and Cersei. Tommen.
Poor Tommen. Who's bloody useless. He's spineless. Is what he is. He's convinced to abolish trial by combat.
Yes, he takes that away from
Cersei's
Cersei.
like, oh no, because I was going to use Gregor as my bodyguard.
Yeah, he was going to be my, and we saw,
and we would win, and then I'd be okay.
Exactly.
So now she's like, plan B.
She even goes to Olenna as well, and who Olenna is just having none of it. Basically says, you know, come on, we know we hate each other, but we got to join forces. Your grandson, your granddaughter are still being kept captive by the High Sparrow. Olenna's like, no way, I'm not doing this. Not for you. Not with you, you mad bitch.
You evil woman.
And so Cersei basically goes to Plan B. We are the last episode is the music in it was bone chilling. It was amazing. And it was Loras's trial, where Loras basically Tommen. I'm gonna have to go back a bit. Jaime and the Tyrells attempt to liberate Marjorie and Tommen from the High Sparrow. It doesn't quite go according to plan, because little do they know, Tommen's already joined with the High Sparrow, and the religion and the state are both together. Huzzah! And that was what led up to the trial. And in the trial, Cersei doesn't come. Tommen's not there.
She's got her reason.
She has got her reasons. But Marjorie had a plan. And I just would love to know what that plan was.
Marjorie always had a plan, but you're never going to find out.
No, we're not.
In the end, she just blows them all up with the wildfire, which is set up by the children.
The children who kill the creepy Maester guy.
Yeah.
Pycelle.
He was giving them all sweets and things.
Crazy guy.
Anyway, but
yeah, Cersei basically blows the Citadel up with Marjorie, and the whole Tyrells, apart from Olenna, is wiped out. Her uncle Kevin was in there.
They're all gone.
They're all dead.
And she's crowned Queen of Westeros just as Jaime comes back.
Mad Queen rises.
And he's like, cannot... I knew she was mad, but this is like... This is too much for me. You can see that he walks away, doesn't he?
Yeah.
She's being crowned, and he's like up on this balcony, and he just looks at her and it's like,
oh God, what have you done?
I can't even with you.
What have you done?
You mad bitch.
So, yes, Cersei is now the queen of Westeros.
Yeah.
Which leads us into Daenerys.
Who, in season 6,
had one great moment.
Yeah.
One great moment.
She's yet again, she's pulled back down. She comes back into it by basically getting the dragons out.
No.
Getting the fire on. She gets the fire on.
Tyrion lets the dragons go.
Tyrion unleashes the dragons, but she lets the fire out. She shows them who she is.
She does.
And then she joins back with the dragons to take control again.
We'll go back a bit. Daenerys has actually been captured by the Dothraki. Mm-hmm. And the Khals find out that she is the what's the word? She's
the widow of the Khal Drogo.
Of Khal Drogo. So therefore, she should go and sit in a cellar with the rest of the Khal widows.
Because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
A widow.
And Daenerys is like, I'm not taking this. No, thank you. I'm gonna basically, I am untouchable with fire. I'm gonna burn your hut to the ground with you inside of it. If you don't join me, they don't join her. So she burns it all down, walks out, completely stark naked, obviously, still with hair.
How does
I'll never understand that. She had hair when she burned Carl's Drogon's bloody, what do you call it? And she had hair then, and she's got hair now.
Yeah.
She must have fireproof hair. That's all I can put it down.
Eyelashes and everything.
Eyebrows, everything. My God. But it was pretty badass though, the way she walked out in the fire and everything. And she takes she's now in control of the Dothraki once again. Mm-hmm. And she takes the Dothraki to Meereen, where Tyrion has been handling business. He's keeping the peace, to the point where he doesn't keep the peace, and everything goes tits up. And the dragons basically show how badass they actually are, because they basically calmed everything down with fire, as you do.
Because you would not question that.
Not at all. In the meantime, while this is all going on, we all know that Sansa and Theon got out of Winterfell. They escaped Ramsay Bolton. Sansa went one way, which we'll discuss in a minute, but Theon went another. He went back home to his sister and his father.
Yeah.
His father is murdered by his uncle, who then says, well, I'm going to take the Salt Throne. I want to say Salt Throne. And then Yara's like,
no, it's me.
No, I'm taking it. And he says, well, no, actually, I'm going to take it. I killed your father. I'm taking this.
I'm a man and you're a woman
Pretty
with
much.
a small brain.
So,
goodbye.
He actually laid his whole plan out.
Which is kind of stupid,
understand
really,
that. He said he was going to go and meet with Daenerys. He was going to marry her. They were going to join forces.
Kind of presumptuous.
But he told Yara his whole plan. So Yara then's like, right, okay, well, I'm just going to go and do it. Gets on a ship, buggers off to Meereen, and joins forces with Daenerys along with her brother Theon. And I love how Daenerys and her had a little bit flirty moment. And she's like, well, yeah, you can join us, but X, Y, and Z stops. And Yara's like, that's our way of life. And she's like, no, X, Y, and like the rape and the pillaging, all stops. And Yara's like, okay, let's do this. I'll do this.
If I can be boss, that's fine.
Pretty much, yeah. So Yara and Theon have joined forces with Daenerys. Daenerys finally pulls her finger out of her backside and is like, right, on the boat, kids. We're going to Westeros.
Yes.
And they leave.
Finally.
Oh my God. It's been season
Finally.
What? Season what?
On their way.
Just watching Daenerys on that boat with a Varys, who was a very great time. Like, getting there was amazing, because Varys actually leaves at some point and goes to Dawn, where he meets with Illyria Sand, who has actually killed the Oberyn's brother. She's taken command of Dawn now. Women, because in Dawn, women are seen as just as equal as a man. If you had 3 children, and if a king had 3 children, the first one was a boy, the second one was a girl, the third one was a boy, it would go in the order the child was born. It would not because of boys first.
Yeah.
So women now rule Dawn, which is amazing. Illyria Sand is gorgeous. And her and Olenna Tyrell, after the incident in the Citadel, and Olenna has absolutely nothing left, she joins forces and they pledge allegiance to the Targaryens. So, all in Targaryens. So So that was Daenerys. She's on her ship. She's going home. The main one that I really want to talk about is Jon Snow.
Of course.
Who doesn't want to talk about Jon Snow? So Jon, at the beginning of season 6, he died.
So everyone thought he was gone. Of course he wasn't.
Did you?
And, no, I didn't personally, but everyone was like, oh, Jon Snow's dead. Of course he's not dead. There's 2 more seasons to go.
Exactly.
He's not going to kill the main character. Of course
Jon
not.
Snow. No chance.
I know they killed Sean Bean in season 1, but he was never going to be.
It's Sean Bean.
He dies in the first of everything with his
exactly.
so it's fine. But so
Jon,
Melisandre uses her special powers to bring him back.
Let's just talk about Melisandre for a second.
Who is like 1 million years old when she takes off her necklace.
That just made me. I was so confused. I was like,
I bet there's
so
many
what?
a young man who has watched Game of Thrones up to now and thought, wow. And they saw that, it's just ruined all of their little special dreams. It's like
Tyrion actually in Marine had getting a red priestess, which then made me think, when you take your necklace off, what do you look like?
Yeah.
So yes, Melisandre does her magic on the table, and
the one that she's never done before, apparently.
No, she did it very well.
First go and it works. So Jon
but
comes
she did it
back.
very well. Jon comes back from the dead, and basically all the people who murdered him and who have actually taken over Castle Black,
he hangs them.
All of them. Ollie included. Bye bye,
yes.
Ollie. Bye bye,
him
Ollie.
Especially because he was a right little traitor, so I'm pleased he went.
See you later, Ollie. Hangs them all and says, right, bitches, I'm done, I'm gone, no more. And Jon's excuse, because Jon took the vow, didn't he? Jon's excuse is, I'm dead. I've died. So therefore, you can't hold me by my vow. I'm out of here. And just as he was about to leave, someone comes knocking at the door. Sansa Stark, who he hasn't seen since season 1. I would love to know the time, the years.
Yeah.
I would like to know that.
I think it's got to be like something like...
I would love to measure it in years as opposed to saying season 1, season 2.
I think given that Rickon was a little boy and he's something like 12 or 13, I think it's got to be like a year per season.
That would be, yeah.
I think it has to be.
So Sansa and Jon meet up, and Sansa obviously fills him in on the fact that she was given to Ramsay as a bride. He's raped her, he's done this, that and the other to her. He's taken over Winterfell. Jon's like, well, we gotta get our home back. And then they find out, as an audience, we find out that Ramsay not only has Winterfell, he now has Rickon Stark.
And the head of the little...
Rickon Stark!
Direwolf as well.
Oh.
So now, at the end, as we get into the last bit, we'll find out there was now actually at the end of season 6 only one direwolf that's left.
Direwolf, yes, that's true. There's 2. Nymeria and Nymeira's still alive.
Is she? Well, she ran off, didn't she?
Nymeria, yes. Well, Nymeria in the books has her own pack. Who she watches over Arya. She's kind of like so. Yeah, there's Nymeria. That'd be interesting.
Ooh,
that'd be quite interesting. But
there we go.
We go off track again. So yes, Rickon back from season 3. Rickon,
completely different actor, I think.
No, it's not.
Is that the same guy? Is he just like
he's
a lot older? So there you go. It must be per season.
It's the same actor.
Okay.
So Ramsay has Rickon, and Ramsay's going to use Rickon as a. I don't know. Like, look, we've got your brother kind of thing.
Well, it's like a bargaining tool, isn't it?
It's going to entice Jon Snow out of Castle Black, basically, isn't it? And it does, because we get the Battle of the Bastards at the second of last of the series. But Jon goes to many houses to try and form allegiances as the Starks would have done, or get back these allegiance to the Starks. Ramsay's already getting quite a few of them. And the other ones are like, well, no,
it's okay.
I'm not going to touch you with.
But Sansa's the one who really saves the day at the end, isn't she? Because Littlefinger's got his own interests as always.
But Davos, the Irish man with the Geordie accent, I think it's brilliant. He is the one who gets the Mormonts, and we meet the little Mormont, who is one of the best characters in season 6 of Game
She's
of Thrones.
so mean.
She is so mean. She is about 11 years old who knows more about war and house allegiance and than any other of the elder people around her. She was an amazing character. Davos gets her to join with them, and he's got his wildling friends as well who come to his aid. But Jon is really, really short-staffed. Like he doesn't have the numbers Ramsay has,
and you can see that at the battle because they're losing.
Yeah,
massively.
Pretty badly. The strategy that Ramsay uses was incredible. First off, at the beginning of the whole thing, he gets Rickon and says basically, run. Why Rickon didn't zigzag is beyond me.
He's the most useless star.
He is. He ran forward.
Straight into it.
Have you seen Prometheus? At the end of Prometheus, when they are running on this, they've got this circular thing, and they are running in front of it. Not one of them think, oh, wait a minute, I'll just stand to the side of it. I don't have to run from it anymore. Rickon Stark did exactly the same. He ran in a straight line when someone was shooting arrows at him, and he got hit. Just at the second Jon was going to catch him, Rickon was hit with an arrow, and
the end.
Bye-bye, Rickon. See you later. And then Jon basically realises that the army of Bolton is coming towards him, and his army then follows in turn, and it is one of the most cinematically. It is
there's
beautiful.
hell on. There's basically hell on until Sansa and Littlefinger turn up with their crew, and they crush them. So
the best
the
part
end
of
of that, they reclaim Winterfell.
What I loved about that whole thing, it ends. For once, the Starks get one. Like you've been waiting for them. They
have such bad luck.
They really do, but this time they do get theirs. But the best thing I thought about that whole scene was how Ramsay did it. How he had his whole army surrounded around them and moved them inwards to where they would have nowhere to go. But then it made when the Knights of the Vale came, it made it easy for them to take them out because they were in such a circle. It just strategy-wise and the way it was done, I just thought it was absolutely spectacular to watch. But Ramsay doesn't get in any of it at all. Jon's in the thick of it fighting and basically he looked like he was going to get crushed to death. Ramsay just stands on the sidelines and runs away, and Jon's like, oh, hell no. No. Him, the ginger guy, and the giant run after him. The giant bursts through the door of Winterfell, and Ramsay and Jon finally get... Well, Jon gets his moment.
You see the fight that you've all been waiting to see.
Amazing. But Jon stops. At the last second, before he kills Ramsay, he stops and went, this is not mine. This is Sansa's. And Sansa feeds him to the dogs.
Rightly so.
Just like what Ramsay did to his stepmom and his stepbrother, which we forgot to mention.
The little baby.
It's horrible. Don't do things with babies and TV. Like animals in TV I'm not good with, but babies, he kills his stepbrother and his stepmom and also his father. We actually forgot to mention that because apparently Ruth wasn't that important to bring up in my notes.
No.
Don't really care.
So anyway, that happened, and the biggest thing involves Bran.
Yeah, Bran had such an amazing... We didn't get any of Bran in season 5.
No.
Now we have all of
You realise how important he is.
Very important. So Bran's doing his training with the three-eyed raven.
Yes.
In the tree with, one of the kids is dead. One of the Howland Reed's children's dead. I can't remember her name. Oh, she was so good as well. He's with her. And Hodor is with him. And Summer. Is it Summer? Yes. And he's doing his training, and first off, he lands in Winterfell, sees his dad.
Back in the day when Ned is a little boy.
Yes, and we see
Benjen.
We see Benjen, but we also see Ned's dad. Isn't he Eddard? Isn't he another Eddard Stark?
So.
We see him, who we all know. Well, you may not know. Sorry, but if you've read the books, he was actually killed by the Mad King along with his uncle.
You also see Lyanna.
You do see Lyanna Stark, and you see Hodor. And Hodor looks like a very functional...
He wasn't
child.
Wasn't Hodor then, he was just somebody else.
Wallace, was it Wallace?
I think so.
I think it was Wallace.
He was a normal
boy.
guy.
He talked. He spoke.
Eloquent.
Very, very, very together child, which I think confused the lad. I don't think Bran knew who it was. He might have not actually. I'm not too sure. But he sees that part. In the
I think he always thought that he was born that way.
Because Bran's only ever known him as being a child and being Hodor, and but he comes out of that because the three-eyed raven is showing him bits and pieces of his past. But Bran gets a bit greedy, grabs onto a branch, and sees. Actually, first he sees the children of the forest with Night's King. The children of the forest. He finds out that the children of the forest created the White Walkers
to protect them from the first men.
I would do it.
Because what were you going to do?
Well, exactly. You were killing us. We needed something. We created these people. Yeah, hell, it got out of hand. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So they created the White Walkers, and then Bran has another greedy moment, grabs onto a branch, while the three-eyed raven, who was played by Max von Straten. Basically, it's the priest in The Exorcist. Can't get over that. We'll never get over that. Also, he grabs a branch and he is met by the Night's King. Bran thinks he's basically in a world where nobody can see him because that's what the three-eyed raven has showed him.
But the Night's King can.
And he finds him and he touches him, and that means he has a gateway into where they are hiding.
He touches him, doesn't he? And he has
the mark, and so the Night's King can find him. And by God, does he get there very quickly, because he's at the door
in minutes.
Yeah, knocking with his zombie tribe as well. And the children of the forest, they do their part. Obviously, they kind of feel a bit guilty, so they do their part, and they lose the children of the forest. They all die.
Summer tries to protect Bran.
Summer is like an absolute warrior, just like, right,
goes head in.
Whoosh, I'm in. Distracts them for a bit, because the end point is the girl. I'm very sorry that I can't remember her name. She's dragging Bran. Sorry, is in one.
Well,
and he's not coming out of it.
He's off in his trance somewhere.
He's off and he ain't coming back for a while. So she's dragging him out with Hodor, and we split between what's happening in the tree and what's actually happening with Bran. And what's happening with Bran at that point is he's back in Winterfell. He sees a young Hodor. He's staring right at him, and all of a sudden Hodor goes into a seizure and starts chanting, "Hold the door,"
which merges together to make his name
Hodor. And Bran realizes
that's where he came from. It's me who made him that way.
In a weird time paradox, Bran is the reason why Hodor is the way he is, but Hodor stays true to his namesake, I guess, and he holds the door to help them escape, and we lose Hodor. It's so sad. I watched it not long ago with Sally, with my mum's dog, and I'm trying to explain to Sally why Hodor was so special.
Everyone was really good, weren't they? When he died.
So sad. My mum, who's never watched Game of Thrones, actually texted us and said, "I'm sorry for your loss." Oh, my mum's great.
We have to get your mum on here.
We have to. So yes, Bran is still in his trance, and basically, when he was in one of his trances before, he was taken to the Tower of Joy, where we saw Howland Reed, who is the girl's dad, and Arthur Dayne, who was on the side of the Targaryens, guarding at the Tower of Joy. And Ned's like, "What's going up in the tower?" And Arthur Dayne's like, "I'm not going to tell you." And it all ends up in a fight, and to the point where Ned is going up to the Tower of Joy. You know the books, you know who's up there. And Bran stops, the three-eyed raven, stops Bran before he gets up and says it's too soon. Bran takes himself back to that moment because he wants to know what's going on up there. We, as an audience, travel up to the Tower of Joy, where we know who's there. We know it's Lyanna Stark.
But she's just had the baby.
Well, in the book, it says that she was on a bed of blood and whispered the words, "Promise me." But in this scene, it goes into Ned sitting with his sister, who is in the bed of blood, who then hands a child to him and whispers the "Promise me, Ned," and along with Robert would kill him if he found out. And we basically, as a fan base, we get the R plus L equals J theory. Boom. Out
That's
there.
where it comes from. So that's Jon's
So exciting.
mother.
So exciting.
Ned's not his dad, it's his uncle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that means Jon Snow is a Targaryen.
He is.
Interesting stuff.
I think most people work that out.
We knew it. Well, we
Like,
all knew the fan theory, and George R. R. Martin said himself, "Yous have got one thing right." I think we knew as fans that that's what it was going to be. Thank God, because I'm so excited. I love that theory. It makes season 7 so much more interesting. That now we know that Jon is a Targaryen. What does that mean? You've got the dragons, you've got Daenerys, you've got 2 Targaryens. Is there going to be a third? So they all fly. Oh, it's magical.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also
because we talked about that, haven't we? About it needs 3.
You have to have 3 heads. It's 3 heads of the dragon. Jon's name supposedly got leaked on an Empire magazine, and his name is the namesake of the longest reigning Targaryen who also rode the dragons. So that makes it all exciting. But what we mustn't forget is how season 6 ended with, after the Battle of the Bastards, Jon Snow and Sansa sitting in Winterfell. The Stark banners are flying again, and he is claimed King of the North, as Robb once was. Jon now is. Let's hope he doesn't have Robb's look.
Oh God.
So yes,
Robb.
Well, it's the moment, girl. She's the one who says basically, I fight. My house is fought under a king in the north. Therefore, I see no reason why he is not confirmed as a Stark and claimed the king of the north. He is he has done what anyone should have. We claim him king. Sansa's all like, that's fine. Littlefinger's a bit knocked at it, but in a nutshell, that's series 6.
That's it.
And we got season 7 coming up very shortly. And I have what we got to take into account as well. The episodes are longer. The series is shorter.
Yeah. Is there like 7 episodes or something?
But they are apparently the last 3 are movie quality.
And like an hour and a half each.
I would imagine. So our Monday nights are going to get very interesting. Because there's no way. We watched the whole series together until the last one. Mm-hmm. I watched it. You were out. I think it was your birthday.
Could have been. I don't know.
You were out. You were out, and I actually was that bothered that she had to watch it that night. I made her watch it that night.
To go watch it.
Yes, because I had to sit and watch it on my own in headphones. Ant hasn't seen the series, so I had to sit on my own. It was devastating, so therefore I made her watch it on the night time. I'm not sitting watching it by myself. So what do you expect from season 7? Very quickly before we wrap this up.
Well, they're all going to realise that Jon is a Targaryen.
Yeah.
Who is he going to find out from? Are they all going to come back together? Is Bran going to join up somehow with? Well, Benjen saves Bran, doesn't he?
Oh, did we even mention that?
No. So Benjen Stark's
boo us.
And I think that he will probably lead Bran back to Winterfell.
Yeah.
And they'll all regroup. I mean, Arya's
in the north. She managed to get the Wall of Frey.
Well placed to come back to Winterfell.
Starks going to be back together
I
again?
think within the first 3 or 4 episodes, they're going to be back in Winterfell.
Right. Predictions now. And we will, when the season is over, we will sit and do a recap.
Right, okay.
Predictions. Who is going to sit on the Iron Throne at the end?
Tyrion.
Okay. You say Tyrion?
I don't know why, I just think
Tyrion.
I think that's such a bad deal. There's got to be something.
I think, Tyrion. No, I don't think Tyrion. Oh God, I had this in my head earlier. I think Jon Snow. Jon Targaryen.
It's too obvious.
Yeah, it is. It is
too obvious, and I just think, like, is Tyrion the 3rd target? Because we don't know.
We don't know
truly that he is a Lannister.
No,
we don't know that.
What we do know is from the books is that the Mad King Aerys was obsessed with Joanna Lannister, who is Tyrion's mother, and given the way that he was, it wouldn't be unusual that he had his way with Joanna Lannister if she wanted it or not, basically. That's the way he was. Tyrion could quite possibly be a Targaryen. Just putting it out there. Don't actually know. But there is a lot of fan theories, which I don't know if they're going to take it as confirmed from this series, because the books aren't even, the last two books aren't even finished. No. But what you've got to remember is these people who are doing this TV show have worked very close with George R. R. Martin. They are not going to put something out there that has not been passed through him.
Yeah.
So he is either going to shake it up a bit in the books or keep it similar to the show. Which is obvious. Which being Captain Obvious again. So that's it. Series 6. All excited.
What's going to happen to Sansa?
She's going to die. Oh,
die?
No. Oh, who do you think is going to die? Daenerys.
Yeah.
Daenerys. Definitely. Daenerys Targaryen. I think she's gone. She's just been such a build-up. And then
to nothing.
Poof,
To nothing.
Yeah, I think so. Daenerys is going to die. I think the Starks will come out on top. Cersei Lannister, I'm sorry,
she's gone as well.
I'm Lannister through and through, but
Jaime's gonna go.
I think Jaime will kill her. You've got to remember
I think Brienne will kill Jaime.
I think her and Jaime will run off together into the sunset.
I think he'll kill Cersei, and I think she will kill Jaime because she loves him, but she hates him. By the end, I think.
What we've got to take into account is that Cersei's Maggie the Frog thing is all coming to light.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. Now all of her children are dead. Because one thing again we forgot to mention, Tommen killed himself.
Tommen,
damn it,
jumped from the balcony.
He did. After the events of the Citadel going up in smoke, Tommen went, I'm out.
I'm not dealing with her by myself.
No chance. See ya. Jumps out of a window. There is a lot of things that we haven't.
We've tried to cover everything that's
We've
the main
tried.
parts, so.
Well, you've got to remember is as well that we actually did do podcasts on every single episode, so why don't you go and check them out?
Yes.
Have that. So season 7 starts in the next week or so. This video will be up before that. I want to say we're done. Yeah, we are done.
And the next podcast will likely be on Spider-Man Homecoming because we're going to see that next weekend.
We are. So. However, you are going to see more videos. We've got a lot more in the pipeline. We have everything you need to know about. We're going to be doing some, we may do some cooking things. We may do some makeup things. We're going to get creative, kind of.
Sort of.
Trying.
Sort of.
It's going to be different. So this is episode 1, because we're not classing it the same as the podcast.
No.
They're a bit different. And thank you. So please hit the red button down below to subscribe to us. There is also a button there to press so you never miss an episode of our show. And all of our links will be down below. Our artwork is done by the amazing great Ray Pyers. I'm sorry, I nearly said your name wrong there. But all of our
would not be happy with
not
you.
at all. All of our links are down below. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are heading to a new home. And I will give you more details on that once it's back up and running. So we are available on YouTube at the moment. So thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Is that all you're going to do? Just bye. Oh, remember what I said to you last night. Be kind to bananas because they are people too. Bye-bye.